Right, so you've learned this one, basically. Would be my guess. You've learned how to... I don't know if you do a proper Korean backdash on player 1 or if you just do a Weibo. But I'll stick it. This is the hardest controller to learn just for this reason. That as soon as you want to go that way, Korean backdash or a wave dash, you have a thumb and you have these fingers, right? You're mainly using your thumb and these two. So they go in conjunction, you know, they work together. But then when you want to go that side, Weibo or Korean backdash, now you have to be so precise because now you're only going to use this. Here you just hit it, you know, with the tip of the fingers. That is so different from the other side where now tips will not be used. You're not going to do this, right? Now you're gonna place it here at the very base of the fingers. And you're gonna start kind of do a hugging motion like this. And this is obviously the same for when you do electrics. Again, player 2 electric. I'm doing this with my tip. It's so fast you can't see it. I do this, and then I just keep it in my hand. So again, a bit different. And then on player 1, it's the same, but now I'm using the base yet again. You see, it's much more close pretty much all the time. You see that? And I have the same. See, tip, 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 backdash. And Weibo, my hand is very closed. So no wonder, Banana, you're struggling on player 1 because it's completely different. And that's the way with stick. It's like forget everything you learned playing this game on player 2, right? Or sorry. You are playing on player 1 and you're Korean backdashing and you're using the tip of the fingers. But yeah, then you wanna Korean backdash on player 2 and yeah, suddenly it's completely different. But yeah, this is why there's no contests. Like arcade stick, it's the hardest controller to play on. It's so much fun, but it's so difficult to pick up. It takes everyone forever. And I mean, I learned to play on player 2, right? I was like, yeah, look at my Weibo, yeah, boy. Look at these mix-ups, yo. And I would do that for like a couple of years. It was like, I started playing arcade stick in early 2006. And it was like 2009, I remember. I was like, okay, whatever. Let's just learn player 1 now. And I forced myself to play player 1, but it took months to even get decent at wave dashing on player 1. It took forever. And electrics. Yeah, in VN, why player 1 harder than player 2? It's because it's so much more precision is needed to use the base here of the fingers. But when you do master it, player 1 has more precision than player 2. Player 2 is faster if you want to do really cool, you know, waivos. It's just the nature of being able to use so many fingers, these three, using the tips. But player 2 is nowhere near as precise as player 1. So player 1, I'm not as fast with the waivo, although some people are super fast on this side. But it's unbelievably precise. It's like I rarely miss input on player 1. And this is why you'll note that almost all top Mishimas, like 99% of them, will play on player 1. JDCR will play on player 1. Cooldowns will play on player 1. They all want player 1 due to that. And if I do post this to YouTube, it's also very important to know that if you play a Mishima mirror match like this, Kazuya and Heihachi, the person who plays on player 1 is at a disadvantage immediately due to a flaw in the game design. And everyone's like, what? That sounds super unbalanced. And it actually is. It actually is imbalanced. So now I'm playing on player 2. Heihachi is on player 1. I do a forward 4. You see, this is one of the most important attacks with Heihachi and Kazuya. It's really, this is in the top 5 attacks. And it's because on hit we get +7, and on block we get +4. And +4 is super good for Kazuya because that means if I do a down for 2 immediately here, if they press any button, they get counter hit launched. Even if he jabs, he dick jabs. This will trade, and I get the launch, right? So this is a very important attack. So the thing is here, I'm going to need to have Mr. Heihachi do this to me now. So most people know we sidewalk Mishimas to the left. That's how we beat like 90% of their move list, especially Kazuya's. Sidestepping in Tekken, when you're forced into a crouch, you can only move towards the background. You can never move into the camera. So this means on player 2, I'm stuck to sidestepping right. I can only sidestep right. Huge problem in this matchup, because in Mishima mirror matches, we always go clockwise. We go always sidewalk left. But so if I block a forward 4 on player 2, I can't step in the right direction. I'm forced to stepping right. So I hope you get that. But if I'm on player 1, you see, on player 1, I'm allowed to step in the right direction for the matchup. The right direction. But I'm not allowed. So you see? So this is why, you know, in tournament, you know, Mishima mirror matches, as rare as they are, but they were very common in, like, you know, Tekken 5, for example. The Koreans would be like, no, I'm player 1, no, I'm player 1, no, I'm player 1, you know, and you had to flip a coin, because if you got player 2, you got a nerf. You got a proper nerf. This attack is godlike, and now it's like, the pressure you can employ now, they're not allowed to step in the right direction. So you can just forward 4 and then force a 50-50, right? If you're on player 1. But the poor sucker who's on player 2, he can never forward 4 and force a mix-up. So it's a big design flaw in the game, but led to very interesting stuff historically. But right, it's worth noting that certain controllers can bypass this who have multiple directional inputs, or where you can press multiple directions at once. So I believe hitbox, mixbox, cross-up can go around this.